Alright, welcome to another Aetherese video here. We got a few matches that we're going to go over. I think about two in this one. And because it is, well, today, the trailer came out today, so that's probably what we're going to go ahead and highlight, see what's, let's see what that brings. I don't know. Well, let's just talk about it, or I'm going to share my thoughts. You know, kind of just seeing what I think about it as of right now. I didn't really do a deep dive. I just watched the stream for Oblivion. I didn't watch the actual banner reveal. I probably will go back and watch it because I did miss like a lot of the key stuff, you know, what this unit does and all of that. But consensus from the stream that I was watching was that it seems like a okay unit, not necessarily a power spike, but a lot of flat damage reduction, which, I mean, thinking about it, that was one of the things that I was saying, and the reason for why Omni-Tank or tanking as a strategy was just no longer really viable, because everything just hits so hard. So this unit looks like an attempt to rectify that, because it gives flat damage reduction. So we're going to see how much that will impact the way we play the game in a bit. You know, once it's released, should be out by Monday or so, and we'll take it from there. I don't personally have a lot of, what's the word, faith in what this new Lucina will bring. Everyone was surprised that it was Lucina. Everyone thought it would have been Roy, which also makes sense. This could have just been Roy. An underwhelming ring for an underwhelming unit. Or at least from IS's standpoint, he doesn't seem to be the most popular. But yeah, it feels like a ring that should have been probably given to Roy. But we got Lucina with it. So yeah, flat damage reduction. It adds on to whatever you already have. And it's on the first combat, a lot like the Ike Ring, but I guess it's a plus, whereas the Ike Ring was just for the first combat, and I think the Ike Ring is only for range, whereas this one is all combats. So I don't know, not the craziest thing in the world, but we're gonna see how it changes the game, in what way it affects, you know, what we got going on. Probably can expect tanks to be tankier. What ring were, like, okay, so the armored units were running probably, yeah, the armored units were running Corrin Ring and Erica Ring, whereas in the past they were typically running the Ike Ring for the additional flat damage reduction from range threats, but that's no longer, you know, a major issue in terms of combat, like initiation and who you're going to be surviving against. The Erica Ring gives the additional hits, and the Corrin Ring gives you the terrain effect. And overall, if you just want to avoid combats, you got Heimdallr for that now, who is very effective at stopping at least that initial initiation, which is usually the most threatening one, unless your opponent is, you know, Galaxy Brain, and they have a whole strategy planned out around faking out that first contact and then hitting you with the big nuke on the second one. So I do see, you know, that strategy becoming more, you know, the one that I just mentioned, more common now, because the additional damage reduction will just make everything bulkier. So it's going to be more difficult to, you know, break through defensive teams. Everything will be a lot more, I'm anticipating like some type of armor stall ball in terms of how it functions, but not how it's designed. Because armor stall balls, you don't really want to run those anymore because they're just so easy to break, and especially since it's just the first initiation, it's really easy. It would be really easy to break through that. But in terms of functionality, I can see that particular ring, the Lucina Ring, bringing a ton to defenses. I don't know if it's going to be like the go-to ring for armored units, because the Erica Ring is still really strong, and the Corrin Ring for the ice, I just don't know how you remove that unless you're running Fjorm. I guess that's a great option to substitute the need for the Corrin Ring. And then you can go ahead and put a different ring on your save, but then it also comes back to, are you even running 2 saves on your team? Because armored units would really be the ones that would benefit from this the most. So if you're not running 2 saves, then I don't know, where does that put us, really? Let's load up one more here. Just a sec. All right, here we go. Second match. So yeah, back to what I was saying. Armored units. We have been moving away from the necessity of running 2 saves on defense. A lot of teams have been going 1 save or even no save, just running 2 valleys instead. And both of those options are very successful right now, just because of how many options you have to stall the opposing team from attacking, in the form of Heimdallr, in the form of traps, in the form of terrain, in the form of just your map layout. There's just so many things that slow down the gameplay now that it makes it so difficult to go in and initiate on your opponent, that this ring adds an additional layer to that now, because once you get to the opponent to attack them, they're going to be incredibly tanky. So the damage forecast is just not going to be in your favor now, is what I'm anticipating. So yeah, there's a lot of things to consider with this new Lucina ring. Is it even going to... it does add on additional damage reduction, but are we at the point where that additional damage reduction might just not even matter? Has the damage output scaled so high that the additional flat DR that you would get from something like this ring won't even matter? And that's a concern. I find that I'm killing things with relative ease. If not one shot, then maybe with the Brave hit. So I don't know. I'm not having a ton of trouble blowing stuff up. If I'm missing a KO, then I'm missing it completely, and nothing will really change that. I probably have already lost that match because I would have, brought the wrong team because of that. But if I've thought out the match and I've brought in the right team, then there's really nothing stopping me from blowing up my opponent. Just food for thought there. But yeah, it's to be seen how this additional damage reduction will impact the meta. Again, the unit's not out yet, so there'll be a lot of testing, I'm sure, once the unit is available. And we'll take it from there. We'll see how things change. We'll see how powerful our nukes actually are, because things have been hitting really hard for a while now. And like I was saying earlier, that has been the main reason why omni-tanking strategies just have not been successful. It's one of the reasons why I haven't even really bothered to use Fjorm, because it's not only the speed check, like the new Fjorm, or what do they call Chosen Fjorm. It's not only the fact that there are so many stat swings that can potentially swing the speed check, and she'll get doubled, which you never want to get doubled, especially if you're a fast unit. You lose so much by getting hit on that follow-up. But if you're able to just survive, right? Let's say this ring now allows a unit like Fjorm to survive that first combat. I'd say a significant thing, because that's a really strong unit. And that will potentially bring back a lot of the tanking strategies that we've utilized in the past. I don't know if it'll be that impactful, but if it allows a unit like Fjorm, or even Alphonse, like Alphonse is really bulky, or let's talk about Ike, for instance. This might be the new best ring in slot for both Emblem Ike and Harmonic Ike. And if that is indeed the case, we're pretty much back in business when it comes to omni-tanking strategies. Yes, you can still try to warp, or the opponent will probably still try to warp around you, but the whole thing about tanking was just positioning. One of the main key things to having tanking strategies work was positioning your units so that they can take on as many threats in one turn as possible. So, and prevent them from also doing those rally traps that would, boost the threat range and increase their overall power by something like favor going off, or debuffs or something going off on your team. So if you can position right then, and with the caveat of this ring actually being functional, then we're probably in for something. I don't know. Let's see what it brings, and we'll take it from there. But Oh, this match was a loss. I should probably highlight that. Man, I'm doing all of this setup. I wonder if I should cut this. I'm gonna let it play, but this match was a loss. A lot happened here, and ultimately it ended in a misclick, a colossal misclick that was very disappointing. There was one misclick where I attacked Sather, because you can see from the summoning circle, I mean, who else is going to pop out there? Attacked a Sather, and then another... Well, the second one wasn't a misclick. I just got frustrated, and then I smite Baldr onto that bull trap, and that kind of just ruined everything. So I surrendered after the fact, but... yeah, misclick kind of ruined this match for me. And then this was another match where I was also just underwhelmed with Thor's performance. Yes, she could warp up there, but again, just not doing anything, which is really sad. So I don't know, man. Like I said, you know, in the previous video, definitely considering fodder in this Thor, just not offering enough as a combat unit. I think her fodder is better than what the unit provides overall. But yeah, Lucina is the emblem unit that we've gotten. There's a lot of March. I feel like we've gotten at least 2 emblem units so far. I feel it's pretty quick. I don't know. I could be wrong there, but I don't remember it being this frequent.
Of course.
Again, could be wrong there, but this feels like another one that we've gotten in quick succession. Maybe was the last one Corrin? I think the last one was Corrin, actually. So I'd probably take that back. It just feels like it's just the way it feels, then I guess. I feel like Corrin is still impacting the game in such a way that we don't necessarily need another emblem unit just yet. I feel like Corrin's impact is still here, and I don't think it's going to be going away for a bit. So they probably could have held off on releasing this Lucina, this emblem unit, but I guess what would they put in the slot? I don't know.
You have orders?
But yeah, Lucina is the choice.
Got it.
The art looks nice. Some of the skill that she's brought into the game, the C skill looks interesting. What does it mean for inheritance? And also, like, Lucina herself, like, is that going to be, or is she going to be a tank unit? Is she going to be a tanky unit? Like, is this a unit that I'm going to have to start planning my defenses around? And to be fair, she's a ranged bow, but you can actually make those, you know, decently bulky with, you know, like, what's that beast skill called? Oh, man. What is that beast skill? I got it from Corrin. I'm really forgetting. But there are ways to make those range units, you know, bulky. And I'm wondering if that will be a playstyle that she will be able to enable. Just with her speed and with the ring giving that additional flat damage reduction, and with that B skill that I'm forgetting right now. It's not potent. It's another one that I'm just completely blanking on. But yeah, we'll see where we go from here. We'll see how things pan out. It's a very interesting meta that this unit is bringing in, this Lucina is bringing in. And I like the fact also that she is a red bow, because a lot of the Lucinas that we've gotten prior have been blue in some capacity, or even
You have orders?
colorless. So I'm glad that this one is a red bow. We don't get a lot of red bow units, so I like the fact that this one is a red bow unit that has some
Leave it to me.
what's the word? That looks like she'll have some impact on the game. So let's see where that takes us. So as you can see there, the bull trap pretty much did a number on my offensive strategy, and pretty much that was GG's. I had no way to really continue the match from there. It was a combination of errors. I should not have attacked right away with Lucina. I forgot about the... not Lucina, I mean... I attacked with Baldr. I forgot about the mechanic that
Which target?
Baldr has, the future foresight snare, future snare, I forget what it's called, but that kind of ruined the whole match for me, and that was pretty much GG's. I really couldn't do anything to recover. Yeah. Alright, so this was the follow-up attempt here to rectify my mistake, and went with the same team. Only playing with 4 teams this week, because I don't think I need another one. Well, I couldn't come up with a combination for the last one, so that's why it's only 4. Like I said, Thor isn't really doing too much for me, like in terms of just what she's offering. I think I don't have to summon. Well, it depends on where it lands, but I might not have to get anyone because I haven't been lucky with the Elliowood banner, so I haven't gotten anyone there. So I don't know what my team composition will look like for the next light season. Hopefully, we should be outside of Tiki bonus. I think it should be April by then, and we should have a new mythic in rotation. So hopefully I can have someone that I could use that isn't a bonus unit. I mean, at least there'll be additional options from the legendaries and stuff. But so far, not having Tiki has not proven to be the worst thing in the world. I've been able to survive thus far without having her as a mythic to use, and frankly, I don't see how she would have benefited me in any of the matches that I've played so far. Even on defense, I haven't really seen a ton of her.
We'll give it a
Granted, I'm not using Loki anymore because she kind of neutralizes that whole Loki thing. And also, I kind of couldn't really find a spot to fit Loki in with some of the new units that we have available. So that's kind of been unfortunate. But yeah, she just really hasn't featured a ton in my strategies, and I also haven't really seen anyone use her in a way that's really crazy. There was one Claire on defense that someone brought a team, was a Gale Force team, and Tiki was incorporated in there with the Celica ring, but she didn't really do too much. She did warp in and get a KO, but a lot of the work for that Claire was really done by the Bolt Trap, by the Bolt Tower rather. So I guess she was there, but not really contributing to anything significant. Maybe the effective damages, maybe the stats, I guess, but again, the Bolt Tower minus 65 or 60, how much ever it was, did the majority of the work in terms of taking out my team. On turn 3, I dropped Medius because I wanted to put someone surprising in that extra slot, but so far we haven't really gotten to a point where that extra unit can do anything, so I don't know, maybe I should bring Medius back to avoid these Bolt Tower shenanigans. At least that's my thinking. But yeah, Tiki has not been hugely impactful in Ether raids from what I've seen so far. Maybe in Summoner duels, I don't know, I don't play, but from what I've seen, she's not even really impactful there. It's she's not a particularly good save. Maybe with this new Lucina ring, that might change things. I don't know. But still, I'd be looking into Hector or maybe even Rhea, because I still think Rhea is really good. And then there's always Black Knight, who is aging tremendously well. He's a excellent far save to this day. So I don't know. Tiki just has not lived up to expectations, nor did I really expect her to be the most crazy unit in the game. Yeah, she kind of just came and went. But yeah, this team I feel like is the most powerful team that I have this season, so that's why I'm using it quite a bit. In the absence of, with the absence of Celica, Harmonic Celica, who I really, really like. And man, with how hard this Hearthfulger hits, I wonder if that additional damage reduction is going to slow her down. Is this an attempt to do something about uncapped damage, which honestly I don't even think is that big of a problem in the game. Everything is already super bulky. We actually need more ways to kill things. I don't think we needed additional flat damage reduction at this stage in the game. Really, what we really needed was some way to get around Heimdallr with everything that she's applying to Heimdallr and everything. Heimdallr and the Quarantarian with everything that they're doing to slow down the game. We needed more ways to get around that. Yes, Elise does a fantastic job of that, but kind of need some more options there. So
target?
maybe
Give it a
that's
shot.
the direction that we're heading back into. Maybe this is the beginning
My
of getting
strength
some
is
more
yours.
powerful nukes. Or maybe it's the beginning of getting some more powerful tanks. I really don't know. I don't know what IS is doing. It feels like it could go in either direction, and neither of them are good because both of them, well, one of them, tanks, will probably slow down the game even more. And I don't think we want to go there. The game feels really slow currently, and it takes so long to clear things. I feel like we need a nuke that just blows everything up. I would love to go back to when Duo Sonaki was on Rampage and just blowing everything up with her debuffs. That's kind of where I want to get back to, but I don't think that's in the cards, to be honest. So we're probably going to get some more tanky units, and it's going to be a struggle for, I don't know, next couple of months until
Don't
summer, I
worry.
think, as we try to navigate through the bulk fest, the additional flat DR, first hit damage reduction. We really don't need more damage reduction. It's hit hard, then get
Follow
damage
my
reduction,
example.
then hit hard again. It's just a cycle, and I feel like we need to get off this bicycle. We need to go in another direction to make this game enjoyable. I think that's the word I'm looking for there. Oh, I've forgotten to play Pawns of Loki, so I'm probably going to do that after this. And yeah, that's pretty much all that I got. This map is pretty much done, or this match rather.
What
It's pretty
do
much
I
done
do?
here. Baldr really helping me out a ton. Sometimes Baldr misses this kill on Rhea, and it's so confusing. I just don't understand what her problem is with colorless units. Baldr, she has such a weird matchup against them. It's not like there's anything in her kit that says does less damage against colorless units. There's nothing in her kit that says that, but it's really weird how she performs. She's inconsistent against colorless units. It's quite odd. Also, Hall of Forms is going on. I don't think I'm picking up any of the units there. Although Lucia has been pretty much soloing that game
Leave it
mode.
to me.
She's just really strong. Like, the weapon that she has is really, really good. In comparison to the baby Ike, who is just dying every chance he gets. It's quite odd to look at the disparity between the units, and it's very evident to see the release dates between them. The Mia is really strong. And also the Harmonic. Oh, I forgot what that Flyer's name is. She does. She's okay, I guess, for a range unit. I just was never a fan of her because of. I don't know, there's just something about her that I just never liked. But yeah, I'm not picking up anyone from this batch. Seer Sneer, again, was really fun. The last map with Ellie Wood and friends. That was kind of challenging, but also not really because Ike kind of soloed everything. Ike is really strong, especially when you have those additional skills on him. I didn't really pick up a ton of skills either, but I didn't even get Ike's base kit. I didn't have patience on him in the final run,
Follow my
and
example.
we were able to clear the last map, or I was able to clear the last map for Seer Snare relatively easily with Ike,
Nerve-wracking. You
just
have orders?
tanking the majority of the stuff there. And then that's pretty much it. I guess we're looking at the end of the A Hero Rises banner, so I'm gonna probably throw some last ditch orbs there, but I don't know. GG's, man. Let's see you in the next one.